office in the worlds of Rotaract, Roundtable and Rotary, both at the club and district level. He was Secretary Rotaract Club of Loyola, Director Youth Service 2005-7, then from 2007 till date has been Chairman of GST Program, Vision Committee and Membership Development Committee. At district level, Chairman of the Chennai Marathon in 2004 and 5, District Chairman Rotaract 2006-7, Advisor to the Chennai Marathon 2006-7, and District Chairman 2007-8. He has attended 6 RI conventions so far, starting with 1998 as a Rotaractor in Indianapolis, then in Chicago 2005, Copenhagen 2006, Salt Lake City 2007, Los Angeles 2008, and Birmingham 2009. Phew. That sounds like an amazing amount of serious work being put in at such a young age. And you might wonder whether he was sacrificing the best time of his life in such serious pursuits. All work, no play, that kind of thing. Not on your life, fellow Rotarians, because George is also a party animal and is well known at all the better known night spots in the city, as well as being an avid sportsman and club goer. A keen swimmer, tennis player, adventure sports buff, plus a stint in modeling and dancing. George is a member of the Madras Gymkhana, Madras Boat Club, and the Presidency Club. He has also managed in the middle of all this to study. And he did his Bachelor of Commerce from Loyola College, and then his Master's in International Business from Monash University, Melbourne. Professionally, he's the Chief Executive Officer of the Raj Group of companies, which includes Raj Impex, which is 100% EOU, Raj Printers, Raj Waterscape, and something that we're all very familiar with now, Raj VDEF Media, which publishes Redefining Time. Clubs like ours, with such a diverse membership pattern, both in terms of ages as well as occupations, and because of our sheer size, calls for great tact and diplomatic skills from its leader. We've had our share of internal differences in recent years, but one thing I'm confident of, and that is that George will mark the beginning of a new era in our club, new thoughts, ambitious goals, and an assured succession plan. George, we wish you well, and you have the support of every member of our club. We're looking forward to a real roller coaster of a year with more ups and no downs. Fellow Rotarians, I have great pleasure in introducing our new president, George Cherian.
I request immediate past President Govindachari to hand over the President's collar. And on behalf of the whole club, we take this opportunity to wish President George Cherian all the best. I request outgoing Secretary Prasanna Shenoy to hand the charter to incoming Secretary Aditya Agarwal.
We turn yet another page in the history of the Rotary Club of Madras. I call on President George Cherian to present the members of his team. I request Governor W. Anand to induct the board members with a lapel pin, specially designed for this year by our President George.
A very good evening to all the members present here, the dignitaries on the dais. As for my acceptance speech is later on. Now I have the pleasant task of introducing my Board of Office Bearers, starting with our immediate past President, P.S. Govindachari.
The last 1 year, the RCM marched to his beat. He brought to our club proceedings the precision emanating from 15 years in the Army. Jumbo will continue on the board as immediate past President.
Give them a big round of applause. He's done a great job.
President Chari, is that a sigh of relief that we hear?
Next we have President-elect 910, Rotarian Gunashekar.
An enterprising, lively and enthusiastic person without whose involvement no activity in the club can be imagined.
Next we have a special person, Rotarian Nandita Krishnan, President nominee 910, the second lady president of our club. Give a big round of applause.
After 3 long years, it will be yet another woman at the helm. She brings to our club her many years of handling unruly school children. We look forward to your tenure, President nominee Nandita.
The most important of it all, Rotarian Aditya Agrawal, Secretary 910.
Methodical, systematic, and a strong believer in both friendship and in service, he personifies our Rotary theme for the year.
Well, we have Assistant Secretary 910, Rotarian Bashwar Mukherjee.
A man who juggles many roles and wears many hats, communication is his forte. Bashwar is going to enjoy this Rotary year, we are sure, what with an all-woman committee. I'm sure many here will want to know how he did it.
And knowing Bashwar, he's not saying how.
Next we have the Treasurer Club Funds 910, Rotarian Subramaniam.
His stock remains steady. Treasurer last year and treasurer once again. President George tells us that last year's surplus was what swung it this year.
Next we have Rotarian Vasudevan R, Treasurer, Charitable Trust.
Picking from his numerous talents is going to be tricky, but his understanding of projects and club accounts makes him a treasure. We see him in the spotlight after a long period of hibernation.
Next we have Treasurer Special Projects, Rotarian Balakrishna Rao.
New Rotarian and someone who loves challenges, he brings a fresh perspective with a very strong accounting background.
Now we move on to the avenues of service. We have the first and foremost, the most important, Director, Club Administration, Rotarian Ram Kumar.
A man used to the limelight, he's back again at the forefront rather quickly. Ramu tells us that he didn't quite expect his Georgie to take up the mantle of presidentship quite so soon. This Nawab of Chennai is expected to bring richness into club fellowships.
Well, next we have Director Membership and Youth Service, Rotarian Prasanna Shenoy.
The first thing you notice about him is his center of calm. He's the king of cool and brings this special quality into his new assignment. Prasanna has swung into his new role with elan, unhesitating despite having just relinquished one of the toughest chairs on the board.
Next we have Director of Public Relations and International Service, Rotarian Satyan Bhatt.
If it is publicity, it has to be Satyan Bhatt. Rotarians in Chennai know him as the architect of the Dandiya Nights.
Well, next we have Director Service Project 1 is Community Service, which is Rotarian Christopher Deva Prakash.
Service above self is his theme song, and who does not know his work? What is lesser known perhaps is his keen sense of humor. Perhaps we will discover more of it this year.
Next we have Director Vocational Service, Rotarian Vivek Harinarayan.
From IT secretary to the corporate world, this is one man who's made the transition beautifully. Vivek takes his vocation rather seriously, and this role perhaps suits him best. Hurry is part of his name, but here's a man who never seems in a hurry, but yet gets his work done.
Next we have Director Rotary Foundation, Rotarian Paul K. Jacob.
Paul has been a beneficiary of the Rotary Foundation much more he himself became a Rotarian. And today, he is very, very active in his role in furthering the cause of the Rotary.
Last but not the least, we have the Chief Sergeant at Arms, Rotarian past President Krishnan.
Past President S. Krishnan is a true blue Rotarian known for his impeccable style in carrying out Rotary responsibilities. We request PDG Kamdar to say a few words.
Just few words or few words for each person. Immediate past President Jumbo, brand new President George, District Governor Anand, past district governors, visiting Rotarians, ladies in Rotary, fellow Rotarians. This must be for the first time in the history of Rotary Club of Madras that the average age of the board is perhaps less than 45. And it's a pleasure to felicitate them and say a few words. Each one of them is so special, it's hard to say just a few words, but I'll do my best. Starting with the immediate past president on the board. You have all heard all the great things about Jumbo. Perhaps he has led our club last year with the decorum and confidence that only a former army officer can have. Calm, collected. For him, any kind of argument, difficulty, or crisis is perhaps just a storm in the teacup. Some would say he is the Tsar of Hosur. I would say he is the benevolent Zamindar of Hosur. Either way, a very, very successful man in his profession and extremely successful past president. Jumbo, you have done a great job. My congratulations to you and your team, your entire team. All the nice things that are to be said about George have been said already, and to say some more nice things we really must wait until next year. But only one thing I can say about George. Long time ago there was an international president and somebody introduced to him a Rotarian who had been for so many years in Rotary. And the president said, I know how many years you have put into Rotary. I want to know how much Rotary you have put into your years. And I think George is one guy who has put in a hell of a lot of Rotary into the short years that he's been in Rotary. George, we are sure that you will do a great job, and all of us are here to support you. Congratulations. We are almost certain you will excel your father, because you will probably get more support from your mother than Benji did. Guna, again another young, dynamic guy, but after George, everybody, the word young has become very relative now, but Guna, we all know, is in the cosmetic manufacturing business, but he has held so many positions in Rotary